Marhaba, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'm going to share with you a couple of predictions that Jesus, Yeshua al-Masih, made about his own death on a Roman cross. Over the years, many of my Muslim friends have shared with me this belief that Muslims have that Jesus did not die on a cross, and they sometimes cite Surah 4, 157, which says, "But they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so." Even those who argue for this crucifixion are in doubt. They have no knowledge whatsoever, only making assumptions. They certainly did not kill him. So today I want to share with you two predictions that Jesus himself made just prior to his execution on a Roman cross. And these two predictions are taken from the Gospel of Matthew in the Injil. So let's get started. We see that Jesus takes his disciples to an area called Caesarea Philippi. He asks his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" And there's an interesting conversation that Jesus has with his disciples. And then it says in verse 21, "From that time on, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, chief priests, and experts in the law, and be killed, and on the third day be raised." So Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "God forbid, Lord, this must not happen to you." But Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, because you are not setting your mind on God's interests, but on man's." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone wants to become my follower, he must first deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life because of me will find it. For what does it benefit a person if he or she gains the whole world but forfeits his life? Or what can a person give in exchange for his or her life?" And then later in chapter 17, Jesus goes on to make his second prediction of his death and resurrection. In verse 22, it says, "When they gathered together in Galilee, Jesus told them, 'The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of men. They will kill him, and on the third day he will be raised.' And they became greatly distressed." So we see that Jesus intentionally and clearly told his disciples that he was going to die on a cross and be raised again. We see the death of Jesus on a Roman cross mentioned by Jewish and Roman historians, and even the peer-reviewed scientific journal of the American Medical Association carried an article that Jesus was certainly dead before the Roman soldier pierced his side with a spear. So what are your thoughts about the cross of Jesus Christ? What have you been taught? The cross of Jesus Christ is central. It's central to the gospel, to the good news, to the message that Jesus brings to the world. And so it's something that we need to evaluate carefully and consider and pray about. The incredible importance of the cross of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Thank you so much for joining me today. Ma salama. Goodbye, and until next time, peace.